Right, today we're having a look at probably the premier e-reader on the market. It's the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. We're not finished yet. 12th generation. So the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, 12th generation. Long name for a relatively compact device. And the reason that I say that it's the best on the market is because I've been using the 11th generation of this, and I consider it to be pretty much perfect. So presumably they've made this a little bit better. So how have they made it better? Well, the display is a tiny bit bigger. It has better contrast, so it's sort of blacker. The black, it's not that sort of washed out grey colour anymore. It really is quite black, and it's a more comfortable read. And there's a faster processor, basically. That's about the extent of it. They say that it's better battery life as well. Now, this is a very hard thing to test with e-readers, of course, because some days you read a book for half an hour, in the weekend you might read it for several hours. Another day you might not read it at all. So when they say that you get 12 weeks battery life out of it, doesn't really mean that much. And all I know is that it does last an extremely long time, and if they've improved it, I'm sure it does last longer than the previous version does. But if I can just show you with a bit of a close-up with the 11th gen. So there's the 12th generation one here on this side, 11th generation on this side, and as you can see, the screen, if I just line up the top of the screens there, the display is just that little bit bigger, and that just means that you're just going to get a slightly bigger, slightly more spread out with each page that you read, so it'll make for a slightly easier reading experience. Obviously, you can adjust the font size and everything like you could before anyway. If I just sort of hold them up like that, I think you'll see that there it is ever so slightly thinner as well. Very difficult to show you that. You just sort of take my word for it that this one's on this side's just sticking up a little bit higher. Yeah, I mean it's not a major. It's not something that you'd really notice. Really, it's that display size that's the major change there. They've also changed the power button, not the location of it. It's still on the bottom. But it is a little bit bigger as well. And if I just can do a little test here, turn these both on at the same time. See, I don't know if there's much difference there at all. So I'm not going to race out and upgrade from the 11th generation version to the 12th generation, just because it turns on quicker. If I turn the pages, that all seems to happen at more or less the same speed. So it's not a massive difference. I have noticed that when you turn it off, that perhaps the 12th gen turns off a little bit quicker. And then there is one more test that we can do as well to just compare. With the review unit that they sent me, they've also sent me this nice leather cover, which I like. It is actually 100% leather, apparently, which is a bit sort of out of fashion these days. Normally it's pretend leather for these things, but this one, it's got that real nice feel to it. You will notice that it is... I've only been using this for a week or so. It's quite beaten up and nicked and scratched and stuff already, but I think that's the effect that they're going for, and over time it'll be really quite... what's the word for it? Distressed, but that's kind of the look that they're going for. So if I put that one in there, and if I put the previous version in this sort of cork looking feeling cover, is that all in there properly? I think so. We can just do one more test. So if you haven't used a Kindle before with a cover, you might not know that they turn off automatically when you shut the cover, and then when you open them they turn on automatically. So we can do a little race here. If I can just open these at the same time, and once again, I don't think there's much in it, is there? If I just do that one more time and try not to hit the camera so much this time, it's really quite hard to do. There we go. And you'll see, There's nothing in it. So basically, my conclusion there is that the best e-reader in the world has got just a little bit better. It's got a little bit bigger as well. But if you already have a Paperwhite signature edition, the 11th gen version from 2021, there's really no reason for you to rush out and get this one unless you're desperate for a little bit more battery life. They both got 32 gig of storage. They're both waterproof. They both have the self-adjusting front lighting, so you can read it in the dark. All of that cool stuff. A dark mode, as you can see there. So, yeah, I don't think that it's probably worth rushing out to upgrade. However, if you're using any other kind of e-reader and you think this one looks a bit flasher, it probably is. And if you haven't jumped into the e-reader pool just yet, what are you waiting for? You may as well go straight to the best and get the signature edition of the Kindle Paperwhite. And, the 12th generation is now officially the best that you can get.